Grab their attention immediately. Asterisk before you watch this shocking story about a soldier who made a career-ending mistake in front of everyone in the mess hall, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the moment when his true identity is revealed and military justice is served. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. Asterisk. It happened in the mess hall at Fort Bragg military base on a Tuesday afternoon. Major General Catherine Hayes, one of the highest-ranking officers in the entire military unit, was standing in line to get her lunch. She was dressed in her standard military uniform, without any insignia or visible indication of her rank. Behind her stood Sergeant Marcus Webb, a 23-year-old soldier with an attitude problem and a history of disciplinary issues. Marcus was having a bad day. He was tired. He was frustrated. And when he decided that Major General Hayes was moving too slowly through the line, he took matters into his own hands. Marcus shoved Catherine forward, hard enough to cause her to stumble. "Move it along, lady," he said aggressively. "Some of us don't have all day." The mess hall fell silent. Everyone stopped what they were doing and stared at what had just happened. What Marcus didn't know was that he had just committed one of the most serious violations in the military: physical assault against a superior officer. More specifically, he had just physically assaulted the highest-ranking officer on the entire base. And his life was about to change forever. Catherine Hayes had been in the military for 32 years. She had risen through the ranks through dedication, intelligence, and strong leadership. She had started as a second lieutenant right out of military academy and had worked her way up to Major General, a rank held by only a few thousand people in the entire U.S. military. Catherine had served in multiple combat zones. She had led troops in dangerous situations. She had made life-and-death decisions. She had earned the respect of every soldier who had served under her. Catherine was known throughout the military as a tough but fair leader. She was known for demanding excellence from her soldiers. She was known for taking care of her troops. She was known for standing up for what was right, even when it was difficult. Catherine had a reputation for being no-nonsense. She didn't tolerate disrespect. She didn't tolerate insubordination. She didn't tolerate poor behavior from her soldiers. But Catherine also had a reputation for being fair. When soldiers made mistakes, she gave them opportunities to learn and to improve. She believed in rehabilitation and growth. She believed that soldiers deserved second chances if they were willing to work for them. This morning, Catherine had come to the mess hall in her standard uniform without her rank insignia prominently displayed. She had done this intentionally. Catherine sometimes did this to get a sense of how soldiers behaved when they didn't know they were in the presence of a high-ranking officer. She wanted to see their true behavior. Sergeant Marcus Webb, on the other hand, was a soldier who had been struggling since he had joined the military. Marcus was 23 years old and had been in the military for 4 years. He was from a rough background. He had joined the military hoping to escape his circumstances and to find direction in his life. But Marcus had brought his aggression and anger with him into the military. He had gotten into several fights with other soldiers. He had been disrespectful to officers. He had been written up multiple times for misconduct. Marcus was currently assigned to a punishment detail, extra duties and restrictions as a consequence for his previous misbehavior. He was required to attend counseling to address his anger management issues. He was on probation with the military. Despite these interventions, Marcus had not learned his lesson. He was still angry. He was still disrespectful. He was still looking for confrontation. This Tuesday morning, Marcus was particularly frustrated. He had just finished a difficult counseling session where his therapist had suggested that his problems were rooted in his inability to respect authority. Marcus had rejected this assessment. He had blamed everyone else for his problems. When Marcus encountered Catherine in the mess hall line, he was in a foul mood. # make viewers emotionally invested. After Marcus shoved Catherine, several things happened immediately. First, the soldiers around them who recognized Catherine's true rank gasped. They couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. Second, a young officer who was standing nearby stepped forward. "Sergeant Webb, do you realize who you just?" But Catherine cut him off with a raised hand. "It's all right, Lieutenant. I'll handle this." Catherine turned to face Marcus. She was calm. Her expression didn't reveal her rank, but her voice carried authority and power. Sergeant Webb, you will come with me immediately, Catherine said. You will not speak. You will not ask questions. You will simply follow me. Marcus was confused. How did this woman know his name? How did she know his rank? Why was she giving him orders? But something in Catherine's voice and demeanor made Marcus comply. There was something about her that demanded obedience. Catherine led Marcus out of the mess hall and to her office. The word spread like wildfire through the base. Soldiers who had witnessed what happened began telling others. By the time Catherine and Marcus reached her office, dozens of soldiers knew what had occurred. Many of them knew that Marcus had no idea who he had assaulted. In her office, Catherine sat down behind her desk. She looked at Marcus with an expression of disappointment and concern. Do you know who I am, Sergeant Webb? Catherine asked. No, Marcus said, still confused. I am Major General Catherine Hayes, Catherine said quietly. I am the commanding officer of this entire unit. I am the highest-ranking officer on this base. Marcus's face went white. He realized what he had done. He had physically assaulted a major general. He had committed one of the most serious violations in the military. I didn't know, Marcus stammered. I'm sorry. I apologize. Your apology is noted, Catherine said. But it doesn't change what you did. You physically assaulted a superior officer. That is a serious violation of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Do you understand the severity of what you've done? Marcus nodded, clearly terrified. This incident will be formally reported, Catherine continued. You will face a military court-martial. You will be prosecuted under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. The likely outcome is dishonorable discharge and imprisonment. Marcus looked like he might be sick. He had just thrown away his military career with one moment of anger. Catherine continued. Before we proceed to court-martial, I want to understand something. Why did you shove me? Marcus explained his frustration with the line. He explained that he didn't think the woman in front of him was moving fast enough. He explained that he was angry and tired. Catherine listened without interrupting. When Marcus finished, Catherine leaned back in her chair. Here is what I want to know, Catherine said. Is this who you are? Is this the person you want to be? A man so controlled by anger that he lashes out at people without thinking about the consequences. Marcus didn't know how to answer. I've read your file, Catherine continued. You came from a difficult background. You've faced challenges in the military. You've been in trouble multiple times. But this is different. This is assault. This is a crossing of a line from which it may be very difficult to recover. Catherine stood up and looked out the window. I want to give you an opportunity, Catherine said. But I need to know if you're ready to take it. Are you willing to truly commit to change? Karma or the big reveal. Catherine's decision to offer Marcus a chance before court-martialing him was controversial. Many officers in the military thought she should have immediately sent Marcus to trial. They thought that assault against a superior officer should result in automatic discharge. But Catherine believed in rehabilitation. She believed that if Marcus was willing to truly commit to change, he deserved an opportunity. Catherine laid out the terms for Marcus. You will undergo intensive anger management and psychological counseling, Catherine said. You will serve in a supervised position where I can monitor your behavior closely. You will have no contact with other soldiers outside of work unless specifically authorized. You will understand that if you commit even one more infraction, even the smallest violation, you will face immediate court-martial. Yes, Marcus said. I understand. Thank you for giving me this chance. Over the next 3 months, Marcus went through a profound transformation. He attended counseling sessions twice per week. He worked with a psychologist to understand the roots of his anger. He learned coping mechanisms to help him manage his emotions. More importantly, Marcus was placed under the direct supervision of Catherine's staff. He was given simple tasks to complete. He was monitored constantly, but he was also given support and encouragement when he showed progress. For the first time in his life, Marcus experienced what true accountability looked like. He experienced what it meant to have someone believe in his capacity to change while also holding him to high standards. After 3 months, Catherine met with Marcus again. Sergeant Webb, you have made significant progress, Catherine said. Your psychological evaluation shows improvement. Your supervising officers report that you have been respectful and cooperative. You have not committed any violations during this 3-month period. Thank you, Marcus said. I've been working hard. I believe you have, Catherine said. I have decided not to proceed with court-martial proceedings. However, you will receive a formal reprimand in your military file. You will be placed on a year-long probation period. During that time, you will continue counseling. You will continue to be monitored closely. I understand, Marcus said. I'm grateful. Don't be grateful to me, Catherine said. Be grateful to yourself. You made the decision to change. You did the hard work. That takes courage. Word of Catherine's decision spread through the military base. Some soldiers criticized her for being too lenient. They thought that assault against a superior officer should result in automatic discharge and imprisonment. But other soldiers saw it differently. They saw Catherine's decision as an example of leadership that believed in rehabilitation and growth. They saw it as an example of holding someone accountable while also giving them an opportunity to become a better person. Over the next year, Marcus continued to progress. He completed his anger management counseling. He earned positive reviews from his supervising officers. He began to take his military responsibilities seriously. He began to earn the respect of the soldiers around him. By the end of the probation year, Marcus had become a different person. He had matured. He had learned to control his anger. He had learned to respect authority. He had learned to be a better soldier and a better person. Catherine officially ended Marcus's probation and returned him to regular duty. Sergeant Webb, you have demonstrated that you are capable of change, Catherine said in their final meeting. You have worked hard. You have learned from your mistakes. I'm proud of you. The moral takeaway. 2 years after the incident in the mess hall, Catherine was invited to speak at a military leadership conference. She chose to tell the story of her encounter with Marcus Webb. I want to tell you about a moment that could have ended a young soldier's career, Catherine began. A moment where I had to decide between punishment and rehabilitation. A moment where I had to ask myself, what kind of leader do I want to be? Catherine described the incident in the mess hall. She described Marcus shoving her. She described the immediate realization of what had happened. I could have immediately court-martialed him, Catherine said. The regulations allowed it. Many of my fellow officers advised it. But I saw something in that young soldier that made me believe he was worth giving a second chance. Catherine explained her decision to offer Marcus the opportunity to rehabilitate rather than face immediate court-martial. I did this not because I was being soft, Catherine said. I did this because I understand that punishment without opportunity for rehabilitation doesn't create better soldiers. It creates bitter, angry people. What I wanted was to create a better soldier. What I wanted was to create a better person. Catherine described Marcus's transformation over the 3-month intensive intervention period. Sergeant Webb went from an angry, disrespectful soldier to a disciplined, respectful soldier, Catherine said. He learned to manage his anger. He learned to respect authority. He learned to be part of a team. And here's the most important part, Catherine continued. Sergeant Webb now uses his experience to help other soldiers who are struggling with anger management. He has become a mentor to younger soldiers who are having difficulty adapting to military life. He has turned his own struggle into an opportunity to help others. The speech was widely praised. Military leadership journals wrote about Catherine's approach to discipline and rehabilitation. Other military leaders began to adopt similar models of holding soldiers accountable while also giving them opportunities for growth and change. 3 years after the incident in the mess hall, Marcus was promoted to the rank of staff sergeant. He was promoted not because Catherine gave him special treatment, but because he had earned the promotion through his hard work and improved performance. Marcus requested to give a statement at a military ethics conference where Catherine was speaking. I want to tell you about a moment that could have ended my military career, Marcus said, standing in front of an auditorium full of military officers and cadets. A moment where I assaulted a superior officer. A moment where I deserved to face serious consequences. Marcus described the incident from his perspective. He described his anger. He described his disrespect. He described the realization of who he had attacked. Major General Hayes could have ended my career that day, Marcus said. She had every right to do so. But instead, she gave me a chance to become a better person. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Marcus described the intensive intervention period. He described the counseling. He described learning to manage his anger. That experience changed my life, Marcus said. Not just my military life, but my entire life. I learned that anger doesn't have to control me. I learned that I can change. And I learned the importance of leaders who believe in their soldiers' capacity to grow and change. Marcus's statement was met with a standing ovation. Many young military officers in the audience were moved by his story. 5 years after the incident in the mess hall, Marcus had become a respected leader in the military. He had earned a second promotion. He was training other soldiers. He was mentoring young officers who were struggling with leadership challenges. Catherine had become a national figure in military leadership. Her approach to combining accountability with opportunity for rehabilitation had been adopted by other military units. Her philosophy had influenced how the military approached discipline and professional development. But perhaps the most important outcome was the relationship between Catherine and Marcus. Marcus came to see Catherine as more than just a commanding officer. He came to see her as a mentor and a role model. Catherine had shown him that it was possible to be both tough and compassionate. It was possible to hold people accountable while also believing in their capacity to change. When Catherine was preparing to retire from the military after 35 years of service, Marcus was one of the people selected to speak at her retirement ceremony. Major General Hayes taught me the most important lesson of my military career, Marcus said. She taught me that leadership isn't about punishment. Leadership is about believing in people's capacity to grow and change. Leadership is about holding people accountable while also supporting their growth. Leadership is about seeing potential in people, even when they can't see it in themselves. Marcus paused, looking directly at Catherine. I would not be standing here today without you, Marcus said. You gave me a chance when I didn't deserve one. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You changed my life. Catherine, visibly moved, stood up and embraced Marcus. You did the work, Catherine said. You made the choice to change. That choice is what defines you, not the moment when you shoved me in the mess hall. Clap aboard the final lesson. This story teaches us something profound about accountability, leadership, and the power of second chances. Marcus Webb made a serious mistake. He assaulted a superior officer. He was disrespectful and aggressive. He deserved to face consequences. But Catherine Hayes understood something important. Consequences alone don't create change. Punishment alone doesn't rehabilitate. What creates change is consequences combined with support, mentorship, and an opportunity to learn and grow. Catherine could have easily destroyed Marcus's military career. She could have ended his life trajectory with a court-martial and dishonorable discharge. But instead, she chose to give him a second chance. And Marcus, for his part, recognized that he had been given an extraordinary opportunity, and he was determined not to waste it. He did the hard work of examining his anger and learning to manage it. He proved that he was willing to change. The lesson for all of us is this: when you have power over another person, use it wisely. Use it not just to punish, but to rehabilitate and to support growth. Believe in people's capacity to change, but also hold them accountable to high standards. And understand that sometimes, the greatest leadership comes not from strict punishment, but from combining accountability with compassion. Punishment without opportunity for growth creates bitterness. But accountability combined with support creates transformation. If this story about military leadership, accountability, and the power of second chances moved you, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next story about people who were given opportunities to change and rose to the occasion. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. And in the comments below, share your thoughts about this story. Do you believe in second chances? Have you ever been given an opportunity to change? Have you ever given someone a second chance? Your perspective matters, and I'd love to hear it. About this story. This story was crafted to illustrate the difference between punishment-based leadership and rehabilitation-based leadership. It shows that true accountability doesn't necessarily mean harsh consequences. It means holding people to high standards while also supporting their growth and change. The story emphasizes that leaders have the power to either destroy or to build people through how they respond to mistakes. Most importantly, it shows that people are capable of profound change when they are given support, accountability, and an opportunity to learn from their mistakes.